What's up, guys? Welcome back to the W.O.L.F podcast. This is episode 6, and today my guest is a 3-year veteran of the iHale game, Mr. Marcus Baka. What's up, Marcus? Welcome.
What's up, man?
Good to see you.
Hey, good to see you.
Thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we'll just jump right into it. So, name, where you're from, and how did you find iHale?
My name's Marcus Baka. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I was doing roofing sales out in Austin, Texas, and doing door-to-door, and one of my good buddies, Dane, that used to work here last year, he got me in, got me an interview with you, and that was in Austin in 2024, and then ever since then, kind of just ran with it.
Yeah, man, I remember that very well. You came in through Dane. Dane was an Indeed hire, and he was like, hey, I got a buddy I think would be good at this. So he had his interview, and then you came in, I think, the very next day.
Yes,
You've
yeah.
just been jamming. So walk us through your story a little bit. So coming up, you were an athlete originally. Then that plan quite didn't, go the way you wanted it to. Then walk us through kind of your early work history, and then ultimately just kind of stumbling into sales.
Yeah, so did sports, did football, baseball, and wrestling all the way through my high school years, and then unfortunately, classic knee injury my senior year.
So ACL
surgery.
Yep.
Got into construction with a family friend business, and then did that for about 4 years, and then got into the railroad business, did that for almost 9-10 years.
Wow.
Was an engineer conductor. And then my brother and my uncle and my cousins were always in sales, and I was like, dang, they're living a pretty good life, on vacation, doing things, had some motion. So I always thought about it, and everyone, said I would have a pretty good personality for sales. And so ended up moving out to Austin, started doing the roofing sales, and then, did that for about 5 months, and then found iHale, and the rest is history.
The rest is history indeed. So, yeah, I mean, that was the biggest thing I would say when we were first kind of speaking with you and Dane at the time. You were still doing the roofing a little bit, because I remember Austin had that hailstorm. I want to say it was April 9th, 2024. Mm-hmm. We live by these dates.
Yeah.
And you were still doing the roofing a little bit. That was your first sales gig, correct?
Correct. Yeah, that was my first sales gig. So it was actually not even 5 months. It was like 3 months I was knocking before I even found you guys. That saw you guys on Indeed. So
yeah. So in terms of the roofing to this, because we see it's a very good transition for guys coming from that particular door-to-door sales space, mm-hmm. because of the project management. Like, talk about how much of the actual work you had to do to ultimately produce a commission.
Oh man, I mean, I only closed, to be honest, like 2 or 3 deals through those few months I worked, and I think I only made $1,500 per deal. But I would say I would spend. There was this one guy I dealt with, really nice guy, but super particular on his roof and the colors, and it took, probably 6 weeks just to get this guy under contract. So it was just, and I didn't really know any better if that was like a hard sell or if that was normal. So definitely compared to this job, I made more in the first week of iHale than I did in 3 months roofing. So it's just definitely a lot more work. You have to turn in so many different measurements and, different things for the build to actually finalize it, and it's all on your own. So then you gotta, make sure all the material's there, make sure the build is right. You gotta do inspections. So it's a lot of time.
For sure, yeah, and it's something we always try to talk about too when, specifically bringing on new guys that have any sort of door-to-door sales experience is the project management aspect of whatever it is they're selling. So, like, for people listening to this, there's basically no project management aside from just setting that initial appointment. You're not having to call in a claim for a customer. You're not having to deal with a project itself. You're not having to do a ton of follow-up. There's none of that. Mm-hmm. Or like with solar, for example, getting, approvals through the HOA or through, any other licensing or stuff like that. It's just a very easy transition to this, which is just set the appointment and then everything else gets handled for you.
Correct, yeah.
So, So this is your third season with iHale. You're definitely considered a veteran of this game by any standard. What's the biggest piece of advice that you would give rookie season Marcus from yourself now?
Definitely, learning the pitch a little better the first season. I was kind of just going out, kind of, guess, free balling it. So I would say just trying to sharpen my sword a little more as far as off the doors, just more at night, listening to recordings, listening to, reading, sales books and motivational books. Luckily, I did pretty good my 2024 season in Denver. I think we got there end of May or early June,
Yep.
and I think I almost dropped 60 cars in 4.5 months, something like that.
Yep.
But I would just say, it was just kind of a trial and error thing. It was my first sales gig, my first year. So I would just say, just not being in your head and just being comfortable and being yourself. I was kind of very salesy and I was trying to be too pushy instead of just relaxing and using your natural personality. So now I kind of know the pitch, obviously the back of my hand. So, and what to say. So I'm able to sprinkle in my regular personality and just be yourself, because no one really likes to be sold to like a billboard or, just be really pushed on. So I think that was the biggest thing, just learning like, okay, you don't have to be this pushy salesman. And I was trying to be this extra type guy and, instead of just being yourself and, being in the moment.
For sure. I mean, there's definitely a night and day difference, I would say, between 2024 season Marcus and then the version of you that showed up at the beginning of this year. And yeah, we see it happen all the time with new guys coming on, just kind of being a robot or like a walking brochure. And it just takes time to kind of break out of that, like I'll use an old wrestling analogy for you. It's like, you're not going to get any better if you don't do your drills, if you're not drilling the moves, if you're not listening to your coach, listening to the materials, because that's what it takes to, win a title like you want. Right.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, this season you came beginning of 2026, we started our season back in St. Louis.
Yep.
And it was as if we were in the peak of hail season, how busy you were compared to everybody else. Talk about that. What do you say the difference was?
I mean, the coming off of last season, to be honest, you can sometimes do get, I wouldn't say burnt out, but, just the repetition. Sometimes last year it was I finished the year good, but I came back
You were
after
in your head a little bit, maybe.
I was a little too salesy, which last year I started off really well and then, kind of just evened out, but did have a really good season.
Yep.
But I think just the 4 months of off season and just being able to financially be able to sit back, and I've traveled a little bit, able to spend the holidays with my family, just recharge the battery, if you would, and just come back. And I took, I think, an extra week or two visiting my sister in North Carolina. I came back like first or second week of March, and I was ready, man. I was just I was hitting the lots early in the morning. I was putting the time in. Definitely had the experience, but felt like I didn't really skip a beat. But it was mostly effort and just the drive to really want to hit the 100 cars this year. So we're on pace now. But yeah, I came out guns blazing, and it's been a good season so far.
Yeah, you definitely came out guns blazing. Obviously, the work ethic is there, the discipline is there. Something that I've noticed, though, in particular is, the stress is just lower. There's a huge difference between a sales guy who comes on and, they're just starting out and, they need to make money and, they're super hungry, versus once you've had a little bit of success and you've had some experience and you're able to, stack some money in the bank, go on vacation, like you said, chill out for the off season, spend time with family. You come back refreshed, and it's like, you got a load of bricks that are off your shoulders, to where every interaction with the customer, you're relaxed, you're chill, and you're your normal self. You don't have to turn into like Mr. Salesperson. It's like you're just having a normal conversation, and the customers can feel that, and oftentimes they're more likely to buy.
Exactly.
Did you say that has something to do with it?
Oh yeah, definitely a lot more present this year. The income is there, and I don't have to be stressing about paycheck to paycheck or anything like that. So just being in the moment and just being relaxed, I think, is the biggest thing.
Definitely not stressing about money, because why don't you tell the audience what do you got coming in today? Something.
I
Is it a
mean,
new AMG? Is that what I heard? I heard
yeah,
a
I'm
rumor.
getting a little Mercedes,
Okay, okay.
little gift. But yeah, I think the last 5 weeks, roughly 38 grand in commissions.
Nice, man. That's definitely huge. Well, between racking up huge commissions, going on awesome trips, surviving a car crash, and buying a new AMG, I would say life's pretty good for you right now, Marcus. Give us a few of your daily habits of discipline that keeps you centered.
Yeah. Just, writing down my goals. Also, just staying in the routine. If it's, in the morning, if it's prayer or gratitude, just being thankful the opportunity to be able to work every day. I think the gratitude list is huge, because if you are having a bad day, you can look back and know what you do have, family, friends. And that's the biggest thing that I love this job and this company, is just the culture. So, if I am having a bad day, or, if things aren't going right, I'm able to talk to you, Ricardo, the guys on the team, and just be able to feel like a family. So I feel welcomed here, and I feel like I belong. So that always goes a long way.
I think that's one of the coolest things about, like you said, our culture is all you guys are like a bunch of brothers, man. And it's so funny with the trash talk you guys give each other, but also building each other up whenever you guys, some guy might feel down one day, and then the next day it's another guy, and you guys are constantly building each other up, celebrating your guys' successes. And that's what to me is the coolest part, for sure. So,
yeah, we definitely give each other crap, but
yeah.
and we know how hard this job is, and or how rewarding it can be. But when somebody's having a bad day or a bad week, we're able to pick them up, and just that brotherhood mentality is just like, come on, bro, pick your head up, you're good.
For sure.
We know we're all experts at what we do, but sales is always kind of up and down. So.
It's up and down. It's a roller coaster, but as long as the trajectory keeps going up, that's the most important thing. So, well, Marcus, I got to say this. You are somebody that has figured out how to crack this business in terms of you come in for a season, work when it's busy, stack up a pile of cash, and then get to rest and relax in the off season. And it's been nothing but an upward trajectory for you over the past 3 years. So let's keep it going, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, hey, good seeing you.
Good seeing
Thanks
you.
for joining me today.
Yeah, of course,
All right.
of course.